Hey everybody, I'm Krysia, co-founder of Vapour Beauty, and I'm here with Nicole Cudzilo, our national makeup artist. And today we are here on a Zoom call to share some pro tips on how to look good on a Zoom call. Because I know I've been on a lot of them lately, different kinds of meetings, and I know you've been doing a lot of Zoom and a lot of video too.
Yeah, a lot of video trainings, a lot of meetings, so it's kind of nice just to have a little setup and have some tips to go over that helps everyone look really good.
So I think the first thing I want to start with is our set,
Hmm.
and it is a set. I think some of the things that we might not think about are how to make the background look decent. And so what I do is I'm actually sitting in a closet in my house that I can actually keep kind of neat because of course you don't want to open up those doors and see what's back there, but it looks neat and clean on video. I think adding a little some plants or a little bit of lighting in the background, something of interest. I love your backdrop, Nicole, with the hats. I think
I
it's a little bit graphic.
Yeah, I think having something that either repeats, so you having the plants in the back gives you a little bit of color, and having a little bit of repetition in the background too, or something that just kind of frames the face, is a nice thing to think about when you're looking for your backdrop.
I like the graphic nature of your backdrop. You know, it's interesting, but it's not distracting. And I think that's what's important and something to keep in mind. We both kind
Absolutely.
of have neutral color backgrounds, which I then also think lets us be the centerpiece
Hmm.
when we're on here. So I think that's a good tip too. The next piece, or anything else about backdrops that you're
I
thinking?
I think that, yeah, just keeping it kind of more of that monochromatic color scheme in the background lets whatever that you're wearing kind of take the stage, or whatever that you look like take the stage. So I think just having it uncluttered, simple, but with a couple little pops to add interest is the best thing to do.
Yeah, I think it really works. The next thing, I think this is one that I've struggled with, and I think that I see a lot of people on a lot of Zoom calls have issues with is lighting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're a photographer. You're also a professional photographer as well as a makeup artist. So you've probably got a couple of lighting tips for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like to make sure that I'm sitting directly in front of a window. I think if you're too side lit, or especially if you're backlit, it's going to wash out your face or give you really kind of strange shadows if it's just coming in from one side. And even if your window isn't large, if you can get up close to it and just have it falling directly on you, the lighting is going to be even and it's going to be very flattering. So just a window is amazing. If you if you look around at like different windows in your house, some might have softer lighting than others. So I think just like finding what window light is going to work the best for you. If you don't have a window, taking a lamp or taking a light source that you do have in your house and just putting it again like directly behind the computer that you're using instead of coming in from the side. You might have to move things around, but it'll make your skin look more even, and people will be able to see you more clearly if you have light coming directly from in front of you.
I think having the light be direct is definitely the most flattering. And I know I'm sitting next to a northwest facing window, and your light is a lot. Mine is much more diffuse
Mm-hmm.
than yours.
Mm-hmm.
So which way are you facing?
I'm facing mostly south, but actually kind of like southeast a little bit, so we're kind of opposite of each other.
Opposite.
Yeah, and
So
you
we
can
have
really
different
tell the
lighting.
difference.
I'm in Taos and Nicole is in Santa Fe, so we're basically in the same region. But wow, my lighting is super soft. Yours is bright. I think both work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the direct on lighting is a really good idea. A tip for finding the right lighting in your house is to actually take your phone and put it on video facing towards yourself and just walk around your house looking in here and find lighting that's flattering. And it's really easy to do this way. It takes the guesswork out.
Absolutely.
But you can just, and then set up shop right there where you've got the good lighting. So for me, it happened to be in the closet. So I'm getting to spend a lot of time in the closet with everyone. Um,
I
yeah.
think something else to think about is so I've been doing trainings at different times of day. So you need to pay attention to that as well. Like if you have a meeting in the morning, the window light might be amazing in one room, and then if you have another meeting at the end of the day, it could look totally different. So if I use this room in the morning, I have a ton of shadows coming in just because the sun is shining through the trees. So make sure, like if you have a big meeting coming up and you're using that phone trick and you're walking around to kind of see where that light is going to look the best, try to do it around the same time the day prior that your meeting is going to be. That way you don't have any like surprises right before you're setting up.
That is a fantastic tip. I've had most of my video calls are sort of in the same time of day, so I haven't really experienced that yet, but that is a really good tip for going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else about lighting or set? I think the other thing is really the next piece, unless there's something else, is about camera placement.
I feel like, as long as your lighting is even, as long as you're kind of like centered in a light, your background is clear, I think the next important thing really is like where your computer is situated. And go ahead,
You see a lot of people where they've got it situated kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not the most flattering view. It creates chins that you don't even have.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've got is a shoebox tilted on its side, and my laptop is sitting up here on my shoebox, and the camera is just above eye level. And so if I'm looking at the camera instead of looking at Nicole, I've actually been looking at her, so I'm looking down a little further. But if I keep my eye on the green dot, my eyes are open, so they're looking up, and my chin is up, and it actually eliminates a lot of things on the face, so it can be a flattering angle, I think, for most people.
Absolutely. I think the camera placement should always be a little bit higher than the eyes. That way it can be tilted down towards you a little bit. I mean, if you guys have been taking selfies, everybody knows that like slightly up is going to be the most flattering angle. So even if you don't have like a right table at the right height, or you have to move everything around, you can put it on a stool. You can put your laptop on, I don't know, like a cabinet. It doesn't have to be a table. You can just figure out the right height and then figure out some kind of stool situation to go along with that height.
A great tip I heard is if you're actually doing it on your phone and you have a pop socket, which I do not have, that you can hook the socket onto a cup and then just place that on top of your laptop or on top of a stack of books or whatever you're using.
That's a great idea.
And then you can really position it and get it into a flattering position. So, because I know a lot of times, I have a little tripod for my phone because we're doing all this other filming, but standing there and trying to do a video call like this, you're really getting that unflattering angle. I mean, I'm not going to sit there like this and have a comfortable call.
No, that's a great tip. I think that's really helpful, actually, and that reminds me of something that I do for all of the Instagram lives on our channel. I don't, like, my pop socket actually fell off. So what I do is I will take the phone and I will place it in the windowsill and then just sit like directly below the windowsill. That way I always know that the light is going to be really even. So just propping up your phone against the glass of the window is a great way. If you're not using your laptop, if you're just using a cell phone, just putting it up in the windowsill, make sure that like it's at the right height for you and that the light's always going to be amazing.
I love that. Kill two birds with one stone. That's a good one.
Yeah, and it's easy.
Yeah. So let's see. I can't think of anything else that has to do with set. So I think the next thing is really about wardrobe.
Absolutely.
And, I think one nice tip is to not wear black, to wear a color that maybe complements your eyes or the room that you're in or your coloring, something with a little bit of color, something that's bright. I'm wearing an olive green shirt. I have green eyes, and I've got a little piece of jewelry on. Obviously I'm at home, so I'm not wearing anything big and fancy, but just a little bit of interest around the face.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think staying away from black, white, or anything like too neutral towards your skin tone, because then you just can, even if you're not washed out in person, you can look washed out on video. So I like jewel tone colors for most people, even if you wear pastels in normal life, because it's a little bit more washed out on video, like deeper greens, deeper purples, um, deeper blues, things that just have like some richness of color look really, really nice against your skin. Um, and I think, yeah, when it comes to accessories, just keeping it a little bit simple, adding a simple necklace, adding little earrings with maybe some color, or a lot of people look amazing when they do just like a simple headband or something like that. And it just brings color around the face so that you look healthy and alive.
What about stripes? Do stripes do that sort of vibrating weird thing
Yeah,
on video?
I like to stay away from like really busy patterns. So, like lots of little stripes next to each other, or
I've seen
like,
them that kind of vibrate.
yeah, it can like get wavy and kind of cause like an optical illusion, which you don't
Yes.
want. Um, or like busy, like paisley kind of patterns, anything that just is too tight together, I think, with the patterning can sometimes be distracting.
Those are good tips. And then, of course, since we're pretty much from here up, taking some time to do your hair and makeup,
Mm-hmm.
I think makes a lot of sense. So, um, what kind of colors, what kind of tips work for video? And we all know that
Absolutely.
we're at home, so it's not like we're in a conference room and
Mm-hmm.
we need to go full out unless we want to.
Yeah, I think that for video, because again, we're a little bit more pale, we're a little bit more just kind of like, we're less contrasty, I suppose.
And very
Um,
one-dimensional.
yeah, we're very one dimensional. So I love kind of focusing on lips and cheeks for video because that's where you can like really place that color really nicely. Eyes are always amazing. Like if you want to do an eye, that's awesome. But if you spend like so much time blending and trying to get like all your shapes really nice, it's going to like lose quality over the video anyways, so you're not going to see like all that beautiful work that you did. Plus you might not want to take like a half an hour to get ready in the morning for just sitting at home. So I think picking like corals, pinks, anything that just gives you extra color and extra life to the skin is going to be perfect on video. And actually, what I like to do sometimes, because the video, as well as photography, like this is what I do with models as well, because any kind of camera is going to take off like 20 to 30% of the makeup that you're wearing. So you can take a picture of yourself first, and then if you need to add a little bit more lip, a little bit more blush, like I put a little bit extra on, because if you saw me in person, maybe it would be a little bit too much blush, but over video, you want to put it just a little bit more on so that it shows up.
The camera does tend to take color off because, I mean, I can see that you're wearing a red lip, but your cheeks do not look overdone by any means.
Yeah.
Something that I like to do is because I don't want to look totally washed out. And like I was saying, also something that happens to our faces as we age is we tend to look flatter and flatter.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been using bronzer and just taking really our powder brush and doing a very soft, not trying to do a whole chiseled
Mm-hmm.
kind of look, but just really adding some warmth to the face so that I look alive and I look healthy. And I think that's really what I want to communicate on video these days is fresh and healthy.
Health, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The bronzer
And
tip is awesome. I think I have bronzer just as eyeshadow today because I think just like framing the eyes a little bit with some color instead of doing like a crazy liner, like just using that warmth all around the face to sculpt or a little bit in the eyes is really nice as well.
that's nice. I love that you have a bold lip on. I think that looks great on camera.
Yeah, the bold colors I think look really, really beautiful. I have a couple options here. I'm wearing Primal, which is our like beautiful raspberry kind of shade, but you
You
could
know,
also
I'm wearing Primal too, but in a completely different way than you. I've just got Primal patted on with my
exactly.
finger, and look how different it looks.
That's what I love about all of the products really, but the high voltage shades are really customizable because you could either dab it on as a stain or you can go in full force and really kind of put a lot of color on there. Another shade that I think works well is Murmur because this is like a mid-tone kind of color, but I'll show you like, so that's when it's fully applied, right? But like how Krysia did, she just kind of blotted in the color and you can see like how your application would change the color that you're wearing.
100%. It's huge versatility that you can get with one shade.
Absolutely.
And I think another thing that you mentioned was about cheeks too. So you've got cheek color on, and I do too. I have Aura in Sultry.
Okay.
It's a really healthy, peachy, warm color on my cheeks, and I have a ton. I don't even know. I can see it on my version of myself.
Yeah.
Here, I think I look just a little bit sun kissed, and what I did was I put it on the apples of my cheeks, and I also put a tiny bit on the bridge of my nose.
I love that.
Just for just that sort of sun kissed, really fresh kind of feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that that's a really good color for most skin tones. I think another really good color for most skin tones is Obsess, and that's the powder blush that I'm wearing today.
Pretty.
And what's really nice about this shade too in particular is that, like, if you're warm, if you're cool, if you're light, if you're deep, or whatever like lip color that you choose, this shade goes with any lip color. So I think just finding colors that work really well for your skin tone, but also colors that can like mix and match really nicely, makes kind of like the guesswork. It takes the guesswork out of getting ready for a video call.
Well, that makes it easy. If you've got a versatile blush color that's going to work with whatever strikes your fancy for lips, I think that's a great way to go.
Exactly.
So that was Obsess.
That was Obsess, yes, and that's what I'm wearing today.
I think another area of the face that I like to highlight is brows.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you've got amazing brows. I have much softer brows, but I did use some brow pencil just to softly frame my eyes. And this is the brow pencil, and it's a super soft, super soft color there. And then it's got the great spoolie brush on the other side, so I can keep my brows tend to grow downward, like a little bit of that lifts the whole eye.
Absolutely. Brows make like the biggest difference because it just lifts the whole face up. I just have mine combed, like I use the spoolie and combed them up just because my eyebrows are like quite thick. They're like already there, so I just like to comb them up and keep them out of the way. But brows, and I think lashes too, right? Like those are two of like the key focal points when you're talking to people. Everyone's looking at your eyes, so just having a little bit there to frame them. So I have on just a coat of the Mesmerize mascara, and let's see. So just like a really nice fluffy kind of wand here, and I just like to go in around the edges, pull upwards and really like wiggle it through, and then take the extras and go like in the inner corners. But just having a really nice dark lash line, even if you don't do anything else on the eyes, frames it really nicely, makes you look awake, makes you look fresh and healthy like we were talking about before.
Yeah, I think it looks great. It doesn't look overdone, and it looks like I can connect with your eyes and really, really see them, which is great.
Absolutely.
Well, cool. Those were sort of the tips that I know. Is there anything that you want to add?
I feel like as long as you're wearing and like wearing clothes wise, but also wearing makeup wise something that you feel comfortable in, then you're going to have that confidence in whatever meeting or whatever presentation that you're doing. So take a little bit of time in the morning to get ready or to find like a signature look for yourself. That way you're comfortable in putting it all together, and that confidence just kind of, everyone else can see it because you feel really good in yourself.
I really think that, yes, whatever is going on the inside, if you feel confident on the inside, that's going to show through. It's just going to shine out. And it's like on video, you have to project more than you do if we were just sitting in a room together.
Yeah.
We could be more subtle, and you would see all of those nuances with gestures, with attitude, with color on the face, all of it. So just really coming from a place of strength and confidence to help project out the message that you want to project, I think is super important on video.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks for tuning in, and I hope that we've provided a couple of tips that will improve your next video call.
Thanks so much, guys. Bye.